Hello and welcome to the Waifu Labs Lounge. This is the Gamer Man's Lounge taking over as the Labs Lounge is undergoing an emergency vacation due to circumstances. But the show's gotta go on. They gotta go on, you know? But with that totally said, now today we're definitely... Oh, hello. I forgot to take my phone off vibrate. Dang it, why was I such a deep sleeper? Anyway, okay. I'm back. Hello? Hello?
Mr. Gamerman.
Yeah,
What the hell happened?
Well, I got displaced and I'm in a hotel. Okay, that's what's going on.
Yes, I did check out your house and I did find something alarming. Your electricity provider's meter has been pulled from the household.
Well,
The
that's
house is without electricity.
well, that's because they're not gonna put the electricity back on. They pulled the meter until things are up to code. And this could mean drastic things.
So, how long will it take for you to be able to be going back into your own house?
About that. Now, in order for the electricity to come back to the property, it needs to get torn down and rebuilt from new.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Will you
I am not
still
kidding.
be located here?
Yeah, I'll be still okay. I just have to find a different place.
You just have to find a new place to live.
Yeah, new place.
Okay. But if something funny happens, I want you to keep the cameras rolling. Also, our Labs Lounge security forces will be on standby, in case something happens.
That sounds like an odd request. Is there any particular reason as to why? You know what? I'm not worried about it. Alright.
Where are you right now?
Well, I'm in the hotel. Okay, everything is quiet because there should be no TVs on with background noise because my family's out shopping at Walmart. Okay.
Okay, but you need to be careful, alright?
Yeah, alright. I'm gonna go work on a Waifu Labs Lounge just like I showed you in the email, okay? Alright, we're good?
Okay, bye.
Bye. They really need this vacation. Okay, so let's get right on going. Today on the Labs Lounge, we're going to be going through waifu books. That's right, books filled with waifu content. Alright. So one example of waifu physical content is definitely books and art books, carrying, at most, waifus. A huge majority of waifus at the end of the day. Now, I don't have art books, and these are not actually art books at the end of the day. Even though they do look like art books, you have to keep in mind about that. Now, taking a good look at the Monster Girl Encyclopedia series. We've seen Volume 1 and 2, but keep in mind that it is actually a web series that consists of arts of the Monster Girl and the lore behind the Monster Girl in the world of Monster Girl Encyclopedia, made by fellow Kenko Cross. Yes, that's right. Kenko Cross is the creator of the Monster Girl Encyclopedia series, which is actually a web series that does consist of pictures and text. You could say a web novel. There are more physically published books off the Monster Girl Encyclopedia IP by Kenko Cross. I will go ahead and say that they're going to be at most exclusive in Japan, while these two, volumes 1 and 2, were localized by 7 Seas, if I'm right. Yeah, 7 Seas. That's the publisher, translated to English. There is more, and like I said, if you want more, there's the official Monster Girl Encyclopedia website, which you're going to have to use your Google Translate through camera feature that you have on your smartphones, so that could be something. Oh yeah, and be careful with the grammar when it comes to Google Translate. I prefer DeepL Translator, but I don't know if DeepL has its very own app that can translate via camera, so something to keep in mind about that. Okay, so here you have the waifu on the left, and on the right you have her lore written down. Yes, there's going to be some additional details, like additional images, but that additional images I have covered up due to the nature. It's very, very spicy Indeed. However, in terms of the lore when it comes to the Trump art, she is I guess you could call her a guardian-like, with the ability to basically go in and out of her own world that is in a playing card that she does usually summon. And of course, if you are going to be in a romantic relationship with her, you can visit her in her card world, and you can go in and out of your card world at will. You can see how cute she really looks. She's definitely milky for her size, and of course, her thighs, they look like beyond lap pillow quality at best. So, if you're in need of a place to stay, you could go date one of them. You can get more than romantically engaged with them. And here you go. It's very interesting how it's gotten a few games, but I would like to see a much bigger, ambitious video game. An anime series would be great too, but I'm thinking a really big, ambitious 3D dating sim adventure. Okay, gotta collect them all aspect. Okay, VR options. You can play the whole game in VR. You can have a sandbox mode, or both a sandbox and a VR sandbox mode with you and your monster girl. That would be cool. Now on to the Queen's Blade. Now Queen's Blade is, you could say it's a spin-off to the Lost Worlds combat books, but it's spun off into its own thing, a huge major franchise. It's wild because it's gotten figurines, dakimakuras, posters, tapestries. It became a big franchise. It was big during its time, okay? And it's gotten a mobile... Actually, it's not really a mobile, it's a browser-based gacha game. I really wish we got more than that. Unfortunately. But it is, at most, a series of combat books that spun off from the Lost Worlds combat books and gotten its set of series. You have Queen's Blade Rebellion, Queen's Blade Grimoire. So you take the character card of the character of your choice, you keep it for you, and while you trade the art books with the opponent, so you and the opponent trade the art books with each other and keep the character's cards, you say numbers, and the goal here is, yes, they're combat books, and the goal here is to deplete somebody else's HP to 0 in order to win, and that's how things entirely work. I did show off some figurines, but hold on, I think someone's at the... Yeah, I see you waving. Oh. You need some? Oh, okay. Sorry for the short communication. I am a private investigator. Yeah. Let me go clean up my spot real quick. Don't want. So sorry about that. I was in the middle of doing something and... Oh. Get back in there, silly. Okay. So what's your business? You need somewhere to sit, or... Okay, you're making hand gestures telling me no, and you're already over there. What's going on here? You know what? You're giving me brief communication, so what's up? I am a private investigator, like I said, and I want to investigate an incident that has happened in a neighborhood, a certain neighborhood. Now, I'm gonna give you some hints. Does your neighborhood come with what I have in this photo? Oh, you're investigating my place. Yeah. Here's the thing. What happened was is that my electricity provider decided to pull the meter, leaving my household without electricity. I'm just placed in a hotel. And how come that happened? That happened because of a porch fire that I had to prevent from escalating into something worse. That's funny, as a matter of fact. There was an arrest in the neighborhood that you, let's say, used to live in. And now you're in this hotel. And that was in your neighborhood. Okay, I have no knowledge of that. And hold on, there was no fire. There was no fire. Okay, hold on. Just so you know, if you came here to argue, I suggest you stop right there. If you argue, if you get us arguing, someone is gonna go and call the police, because that causes a commotion. That's gonna cause a disturbance. So, something to keep in mind about. Well, I'm here to inform you, and I want to ask you some questions. I didn't come here to argue. What happened? And what happened to the porch? Was a car that did manage to crash into your property. But the car did not explode. There was an altercation between you and the driver. The driver who crashed into your property was arrested, but during his arrest he made some comments, which led to your electricity provider pulling the plug on you. So you see, there was no fire. Okay, I'm gonna warn you again. I think you need to leave, because if you continue to argue,